Shalom, my friends. Shalom, my enemies, too. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sol Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And this guy giving me the finger there, as he's done many times in his life, not to me directly, but to other people accidentally, that's Jackie Mason. Of course, the legendary, world according to him, comedian, a man who could make lots of people laugh, but had something not so funny in his real life. He had, by his very longtime companion, a woman named Ginger Reiter, a daughter, a beautiful, lovely girl that he refused to acknowledge. Basically, completely, not only did he refuse to acknowledge, he fought legally for years against telling the world, oh, this lovely lady is, by the way, if I'm pointing to the woman on your screen, not the guy with a cap. Just so you know, I know it's a gender weird world, but Jackie Mason, his daughter is the lovely SHEBA Mason. Now, SHEBA is in a show, see if you can keep this together here, a show written by her mother, Ginger Reiter, about Jackie's life and career and his not-so-goodness thing as a father. Who's the dude? That is not a son. No, but he kind of looks like Jackie Mason. Do you sound a little like Jackie?
Do I sound like Jackie? Oh, you'd ask me if I sound like Jackie. I'm here to talk to you about Jackie Mason. You're going to ask me that question?
So there's his Rodney Dangerfield impersonation, but do you have a... No, I'm kidding. This is IAN WEHRLE, like the whirly bird thing. IAN WEHRLE, he is a sound designer generally, but he's also an actor, and he is appearing as Jackie Mason in the show, which is called The Jackie Mason Musical. It is running this weekend at the Actors Temple Theater. 3 performances, 1 on Saturday night, 2 on Sunday. Why should you go see it? Well, let's talk to these wonderful people and find out. First of all, Shalom, SHEBA, and IAN. Hello.
Hello, shalom.
What
an intro.
So I gotta ask, and again, with absolutely no offense intended, SHEBA is a name that we generally associate with the canine. How did your mom, or cat actually, mom name you SHEBA?
Well, Jews name their kids after someone who passed away in their family that they love. So I'm actually named after her grandfather. So my real name is Grandpa. No, but her.
That's good. But I'm bummed, damn it. Yes.
No, they actually, so they needed an S, right? His name was Solomon. Her grandpa was Solomon. So they were going to name me Shayna, but actually Jackie stepped in and said too Jewish. That's too Jewish. Sheba's more ambiguous. So he actually stepped in at that point when he was loving and said that.
Wait a minute. I thought he never ever acknowledged that you were alive.
He did up until I was about a year and a half. And he was actually really cute. He would play with me and stuff as a baby. And he was around when my mother was pregnant. And it didn't really break until I was a year and a half.
What the hell? I mean, we might as well get into it because I assume part of your show is about this. What the hell happened with him and your mom and everything?
Well, the show touches on it. It doesn't really, it's not a hit piece. So it's just a funny musical with a lot of heart and soul in it. But what happened? I don't know. You have to ask his manager.
or your mom. I mean, I assume you've asked your mom a few times over the years, not to mention when she was editing and working on this musical and the story of it, not to mention you're working on a documentary about your dad. I mean, I'm assuming this topic has come up.
Well, Rabbi, let me put a little context to it. So right now, this year, 2026, is the 40-year anniversary of Jackie's first hit show on Broadway, World According to Me. Now, it is also happens to be, I'm not saying this, SHEBA's 40th birthday. Now, if you put that context together,
Why would you say that?
Because it's important to the question.
No, it's not. That's not my 40th birthday.
All right. Well, it's a good thing that there's no editing. So, if you put that context together, it has a lot. His hit show, he got a hit. He got a hit on Broadway. What do? You're going to be a big star then. He says, I got too much to deal with. It was around that time. He runs out. There was a lawsuit that was involved, whether the lawsuit was just before or just after or whatever it was just around that time. So you have to put all that context together to understand, what happened.
I didn't realize that he did acknowledge and then stopped acknowledging when he wanted to be a big star and didn't want to be saddled with a family, etc., and so forth. By the way, this is also the 5th anniversary of when he died. about 5 years ago. So as a fifth anniversary would be
Yeah.
5 years ago. So Ian, let's also talk to you. When did you realize that not only you were a talented actor, but you had a facility for imitating Jackie?
I was at a karaoke bar in 2009, and I got up on stage, and it was a boring place. It was a country music karaoke bar, and I was with
Oh,
a friend of mine, and I know, horrible, horrible. And I said, wouldn't it be funny? I said to a friend of mine that I was there, I said, wouldn't it be funny if I just did this next song as Jackie Mason? And so I got up there and I did, Harvey Danger had a hit around that time. And I said I was doing it as Jackie Mason on stage and on the karaoke, and they thought it was so funny. And I said, well, that's a shtick, man. I guess I got that thing down. So I just, didn't think about it twice until about 4 or 5 years later. I see an advertisement. I quit my corporate job. I met my own father. I quit my corporate job, and I saw one. I said, I'm going to act again. I haven't acted in years, and I saw one. The first thing that popped up in the audition circuit was the Jackie Mason musical, and I said, I've got that.
that's Beshert. It is Beshert. Granted, Jackie is a comedian that a lot of people can do the voice
Sure.
of.
You've got a very, yeah,
Do you do other? Did you ever try anybody else? Do you do other impressions?
well, no one has offered me any money for any other impressions, so no.
Certainly, I'm not. Certainly,
Not that we offer him much money either, but
but can I ask you? And I will, of course, get back to you, Sheba, because you're the big actress in the show, and your mom wrote it. But I want to ask you. You slipped in a little thing that you met your dad. What the
Well,
heck?
it happens to be that I didn't know my father either growing up, and he was again a little bit loving, a little bit around in the beginning, but then totally disappeared. He's a Jew from Turkey, and so in 2012, I went to Turkey. I said I'm going to find this guy, and I found him, and I met him, and I met his family, and it was very cool. But it changed my life, And in recognizing that aspect of yourself, it's a big deal.
What, are you still in touch? Did you? I mean, did he apologize? Did he just sort of say,
Well,
"Hey"?
I won't say he apologized. I won't go that far. But what he did do was he was very hospitable. His family was very hospitable in positive ways, very loving, very welcoming. And it was circumstantial. I think that everyone disappeared on each other and not with prejudice. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we are a little bit in touch now. But if you don't grow up with someone, they're just a close. There's just a friend as opposed to a father, not a father, but there's blood.
No, it's thicker than borscht. Actually, I've discovered that. Unfortunately, a horrible kitchen incident. But let me ask you. Let me also let you know. You mentioned the corporate job, but Ian, I know you do sound design for like Surflight Theater in New York. You do the Sheen Center, the Urban Stages, Pan Asian Rep. You've worked with a lot, and you teach sound design at CUNY. So when were you working corporate?
It was the downturn. It was 2007 to like 2009 when the economy tanked back when all the banks collapsed. I had to stop being freelance and had to go sit behind a desk for a few years. And it wasn't the worst. It was still in audio and it was still in sound. But I had to get out of there too after a certain time.
And good for you that you make your living now teaching and sound designing. And we should say you're not at your home at the moment. You're at a camp.
Well, I happen to be audio supervising for the Long Lake Camp for the Arts. I did it 10 years ago, just before, and there's so much Besheret, as you say, 10 years ago. Originally, and they called me back. They said, we've never had it as good as when we had it with you. Oh, wouldn't every girl like to say that too? And so they called me back and they got me here, and we're having a fabulous season. We're opening Hadestown, a premiere for this camp.
Hey, how old are these children you're doing Hadestown?
Very well. They're 16, but they're some very mature content.
I'm not
We
going to
just
ask.
opened Rent last night.
Oh, really? You're doing a rent? Well, okay, all right. Yeah, I guess they're about. You're not doing Old Calcutta. You got to wait
Not
2 more
yet.
years for that one. That will have to wait. Well, let's talk about the Jackie Mason musical. So, Sheba, when your mom told you that she was working on this, probably like 10 years ago now, I think it was. So, I mean, what were your thoughts about turning her life and her husband's life or her partner's into a musical entertainment?
well, the truth is, she is a writer, right? She has other plays, and she's always written music from the time she was 12. And so when she started dating Jackie Mason, she actually had a really, really early incarnation of this after only 3 years with him, called My 3 Seasons with Jackie Mason. And it was just like not really developed or anything like that. And then over the years, she's developed it. And then when I've always been in theater my whole life, mostly because my mother's a playwright and I auditioned for I was in many, many things growing up in Florida. They had a wonderful theater scene. And so I moved to New York, and she did another one of her plays, King Solomon and His 700 Wives, which Has nothing to do with Jackie Mason, but it's
Or me. Yeah.
Why, you're Solomon.
Yes. Somewhere there's a lineage there.
How many wives do you have?
I got one is too many. Let me tell you something there.
And so, I was here in New York. I had started doing stand up, and I was in the mood to do a play. And she's like, "Well, why don't we try this out and workshop this and fix it and fine tune it?" So we started like kind of workshopping it at a comedy club on Sunday matinees, and we were like, and we would fix things and take things out and put things in. And then over the years, it started to get more and more tight, and then it started to get known a little bit, and then it started to tour, and like it's been a process.
Now, can I ask? Oh, sorry, please. Sorry.
Oh, psychologists have a field day with the fact that I'm playing my mother and I get pregnant with myself.
Yeah, Freud, not so much Jungian. There's a little bit of Erickson in there, but mostly it's Freud. But can I ask you also, though, you are really a person to ask this. You went into stand-up comedy. Do you think there's something genetic in it, or is it just that you're Jewish? Or do you think knowing that your dad this was a way to get in touch with a dad you didn't know in a very roundabout but fun way?
I wish it was as deep as all that. Basically, I was auditioning for plays, and I'm not as much of a triple threat as I'd like to be. My dancing skills are not as good as some of the people you see. And so I was working as a waitress at a comedy club while I was going to college, and I fell in love with stand-up. I said, wait a minute, I can do stand-up and not have to wait to be picked for something. I can run my own show. I can, be on stage all the time. And I fell in love with it right away, not only because of that, but because it's so much fun to be alone on stage and to write your own material and to have your personality come through. And I just love the art form.
Well, let me ask you what we were talking to someone a week or two ago, a singer, a very, very fine singer, who ran a pretty major jazz nightclub in New York for several years. And she wishes, she's still thinking about, I could run another club. I would love to do that. Not the money part, but the creative part, and the booking part, and all that. You run a club. It's called SHEBA's Speakeasy Comedy Club. It's over on 8th Avenue, 8th and 8th actually, 832 8th Avenue. I don't know what the...
Yeah, 8th and 50th, yeah.
8th and 50th.
So I actually, this is at the old Three Monkeys. They had to relocate due to the hotel being built where they were before. But at the old Three Monkeys, it was the pandemic, it was 2020, and I thought, well, what am I going to do? And I looked around and I wanted to run a show somewhere because no one was doing anything, but everything had to be outside, right? So they happened to have, on the second floor, they had a covered patio, and with actual seats, and it's covered, so it's not subjected to the elements. And I started a show there, and it was the only real, focused show that's not a park. I mean... the people were doing shows in parks. That's how desperate comedians are to perform. We just like to perform. And so it was like the only show in town, either music or comedy, that was actually in a space where you sit down, a person has a microphone, and you can focus on a show. And it was technically outside, so it was like a real loophole. And it was amazing. All these comics were coming all the time. David Tell was coming constantly. The whole Comedy Cellar was coming. Louis C.K. came a few times.
Do you have any stories about these people? I mean, these are pretty famous comedians that tell. They're famous already, but Louis C.K. Any stories around? He didn't do anything naughty in front of you, did he?
No, but
give him that conversation. That's a great
conversation. We had a conversation about how what he did was similar to what my father did with his finger. They both used their fingers, and they both got canceled. So I said, yeah, that is kind of similar.
Okay. Oh, all right, my cheek's red. No, all right, but... And any other famous comedians play at SHEBA's, or semi-famous, or...
Who else was there?
Did Colin come through?
Colin didn't really come through, but there was, Mark Norman was coming quite a bit, if you know who he is. Joe List was always there. Basically everybody from the... Oh, we had... this famous guy who was in he actually ran his Saturday night monologue at my club. Roy Wood Jr. was there a lot. Daniel Kaluuya, he won the Oscar, and he was running his Saturday night monologue at my club. Saturday Night Monologue. So,
and you're still doing it. When is this happening? This is on what days of the week? Yeah.
So it's typically 7 nights a week, unless there's a baseball game. or the World Cup. If there's a World Cup, then there's no show.
Yeah, so this weekend, I think Saturday or Sunday is. Yeah,
No,
but
no, we have a show this Saturday and Sunday. For some
oh,
reason. Yeah, it might be
I
an
thought the
early
finals
game.
is this weekend, isn't it? For
Well,
the,
America's out, so nobody cares.
oh, yeah, it's true. True. So let me ask you about the ins and outs. How much do you get to concentrate on just doing comedy and booking your or talented friends and things like that, or I don't know if you have an open mic, versus oh, I've got to order liquor. Oh, I have to have a
Well,
bouncer.
thank God I don't own the actual club. I just run the show, so that's a really nice thing.
That is a good thing. How long have you been doing that?
Well, since 2020, so like
Right,
6
okay.
years. Yeah.
So, but no, but the Three Monkeys thing was before that or after that?
Yeah,
or,
so this is still at the Three Monkeys. It's just that the Three Monkeys moved. So
Got it.
it's been I've been with them for 6 years.
Yeah, so if you want to go ape, everyone, go to the Spencer. Terrible joke. So let's get back to audio things. With our, you can't even see my payas in this green screen thing. But Ian Wehrle, can you? Here's a question that I would like. You haven't worked on Broadway, but you've done a lot of stuff off Broadway. Why is every goddamn Broadway musical so loud? What are sound designers just not clocking the idea that we want to hear the singers sing and articulate and hear them talk and also sing in unison, which is the hardest thing, and make out what they're saying, versus having our eardrums blasting into tinnitus land?
Do you want to know the answer?
I
I'll
do.
tell you the answer. Ready?
I
It's
do.
one word. It's one word. Ready?
Money?
Producers.
Oh.
The producers will tell you, I make it louder, because the producers think that the audience wants it louder. That's why a sound designer never by design wants to make it louder. We train our ears our whole lives to be sensitive to sound. The last thing we ever want is to have something louder than it needs to be. But a producer will come up to you in the middle of a show and go, make it louder. And what are you going to do? They're the ones writing the checks.
That's discouraging. It's really. But let me now. I do want to ask you, like, what goes into sound design for someone like you? Like, you're doing the sound design for the long whatever camp that you're in right now. Does that mean for the shows that they're doing, you're miking them? You're getting. What do you actually do as a sound
Well,
designer? Yeah.
sure. At this point, I mean, yes, it entails all of that. So everything that from a microphone to a speaker, and that the whole train that gets it from there is what is our auspice, right? That's what we're in control of, and that's what we're responsible for. But also the teams of people that go together to do that, right? You have someone on the mixing board, you have someone backstage checking the mics, you have someone usually, maybe someone programming the show, whatever it is. Usually a team of 3 to 4 people that are involved in that. Not to mention the moving in and the moving out, which can take up to 10 to 12 people. So managing the equipment, making sure the equipment is paid for, making sure that it makes sense for the space, making sure that it's all working over time, making sure that it is not degrading, making sure that the right people get the right microphones at the right time, that it's turning on at the right time at the right time, and all of that kind of mishigas. And then making sure the producer's happy, and making sure the audience is happy, and making sure that your team is happy. And once everyone's happy, then you can sleep.
Well, you're Jewish. We never. No, everyone is never completely happy. But lighting, certainly for the higher for Broadway and things like that, even off and regional and high schools now, everything is programmed. They set everything up. You hit a button on a thing, and then everybody goes to sleep. Is sound like that yet? Like
I am
someone's mic
praying.
goes. Yeah.
I am praying for the day, and if anyone out there knows how to do it, give me a ring. I'm praying for the day that AI can do my job. Unfortunately, it can't yet, but I would like it to, because it should be. It should be as simple as what you're describing. Oh, well, a show should sound like this, but it's so not that. It's painting. You're literally painting with sound. You're painting with the voices, and if you want to be able to close your eyes and to see what's happening on stage, or to be able to imagine it and fall into a dreamlike state of trance through that process. And if we do that and we create that world and that atmosphere and that environment, then we've done our job.
Now you are a musician as well. You've written songs that we've done. So when did that start for you? Were you taking piano lessons at 4 and were like, yes, or what?
Yeah. What's the easiest way to explain this? I mean, yeah, it was kind of foisted upon me, but I kind of loved it too. I was raised by people that had no jobs and didn't go to college, and didn't really, but they liked to have fun, to make music, and to make merry, and so they taught me how to not make any money, but they taught me how to have fun doing it. So I ended up putting that together and making some career out of it, and having a lot of fun with it. And my aunt's a cabaret singer, my uncle's a Juilliard pianist, and so I was inspired by them to come to New York and see the stage and go up and perform with them my first couple of times as a 4, 5, 6-year-old. And then, yeah, loved writing songs, loved Elvis, loved the Beatles, loved everything 60s. I don't think a good song has been written after 1979. And so
1983.
all right, but but anyway, so that's where my love is in analog and acoustic and classical and opera and all that kind of beauty.
So, now, and since we're asking such educational questions, I want to ask Sheba Mason there, the daughter of Jackie Mason and the star playing her own mother in the Jackie Mason musical at the Actors Temple Theater happening this very weekend. You, Sheba, went to Baruch College. I see that name. I'm like, yes, which means blessing. What did you study there? What did you learn at Bernard Baruch College?
Well, frankly, I learned that I should have gone to NYU because it's very much a commuter school. You know, there's really no camaraderie, which is okay. But, you know, I took like 2 or 3 courses a semester because I was also working at the time. So child support ended when I was 18.
Oh.
so you know.
Yeah, but look at Ian's parents. They didn't work their whole lives, so they're okay.
But I...
Oh, we disappeared. Where did Sheba go? Come back, little Sheba. Come back.
I do have a degree from Baruch College, if you can see it.
Closer to the camera. Put it closer to the camera. There it is.
There's my degree.
Did you ever think of perhaps framing it? That just looks like a piece of paper.
You know, Sal, sometimes you come up with a good idea. They don't call you rabbi for nothing.
No, I'm just saying, it's like, I know you don't make a lot of money in the theater, but Jesus Christ, you can pay $40 to Michaels to frame a degree.
That's not a bad, I never really thought about it. That's a really good idea.
Good, gewalt. So you took a couple of courses. It did not, you got your degree, though. You did get a...
there it is.
There it is, right. So is there anything that was worthwhile at Baruch?
Well, I took a class about the Dominican Republic.
Because you wanted to vacation there someday? Why?
You had to pick a course about some other country, so that was the one I was assigned to. Not much really goes on there, I found.
Yeah! Alrighty then.
Not a lot happening there. I don't know if it's like worthy of an entire, semester long.
Here's the point, Rabbi, is that Sheba at graduating and finishing high school got a full ride scholarship. I forget what college it was, but she got a full ride scholarship in musical theater, and she said, "Screw it, I'm moving to New York and getting my own thing through it." And she got there. She was a singing waitress at Ellen Stardust.
Ellen Stardust Ballroom. Yeah.
And she was doing bartending and all this kind of chaperoning on Broadway, and has a fabulous story about when she was 19 and working Spam-A-Lot that you might want to hear.
I do want to hear this. What happened when you were 19 and working Spam-A-Lot? Was there another person with a finger? What happened?
Well, there was a person with a finger. Outside, it's funny you should ask, Rabbi. Outside, Jackie Mason was coming out of his show, and I said hello to him, and he didn't quite recognize me, but he did hit on me enough before he realized who I was, which was very flattering, I have to tell you, because, either that or he just doesn't discriminate.
This is not Freudian, this is Oedipal now. Holy shit! Pardon my French, but...
There's almost no... what are they? They're not there's no psychoanalyst that can't touch this story. Okay.
Well, at least he can get to touch those. But my God, yeah,
it's Shakespearean. It's
just your life.
Yeah.
So, by the way, did you enjoy Spam-A-Lot?
Who doesn't? I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a very delightful
that number.
show.
We wouldn't have theater if we don't have any Jews or something. That was a great number.
Yes, that was. It was. The guy from Cheers was singing it.
No, David Hyde Pierce from.
David Hyde Pierce, he's brilliant. Oh, I like.
Yeah, love him.
Now let's take it down a little bit. Just take it down for a moment. As a stand-up comedian and a Jewess, can I ask you? Have you felt differently? Have you fielded different things from audiences and the business since October 7th and its ramifications?
100%. 100%. It's funny that we're like the only people where someone else could rape and pillage our people and then get mad at us. Right? Is it like, would that happen with any other group of people? They completely destroy.
Eskimos maybe, but really, other
I
than the
mean, like
Eskimos.
it's I can't even get into how unbelievably ridiculous it's been. It's been ridiculous. People have their shows canceled left and right because I was going to be on a show that was going to donate some money to like the IDF, and that was canceled because they got like threats on the phone. You know, people are. I mean, it's really not. It's just as bad as you think.
Have you had hecklers or people who
Yes.
pro?
Yeah,
Really?
I have all these jokes about being Jewish that, frankly, I'm a little afraid to even tell now. You know, like friendly Jewish jokes, nothing like, you
Right, no,
know.
of course. Even unfriendly Jewish jokes, which are the kind I tell. Now, speaking of friendly Jews, we also have, of course, IAN WEHRLE here. He is the lead actor, the Jackie Mason man of the Jackie Mason musical. So, Ian, how have you? Do you live in New York, or where do you live generally?
Well, I'm what I have coined a term, and I hope you'll use it and spread it around, called a show mad. I am a person that travels with basically wherever the show is. So I spend a lot of time on the road, and I keep a couple residencies across the country where I'm doing more work than less. But certainly New York is one of them, and I enjoy my time there. And I've spent a number of years and built my business in New York. So now I'm traveling more.
Do you have a family then? Do you have a wife and youngins or anything like that? Because that can be
It's
very tough if you're
Well, let me
nomadic.
let me say that was Jackie's argument to Ginger we mentioned it in the play that he says, my job takes me on the road too much and it's no good for a kid. So whether he was honest about that or not, that was his excuse at the time, and I'm keeping it as mine.
Now, let's get back to the college thing for you, though. You went to the Berklee College of Music, a very well-known place in Massachusetts. So you got a degree there, but you also got like a certificate or something in video game music. Is this true?
I guess someone sent me my resume. I'm not sure where you got this, but no. During the pandemic, I wasn't sure what was going to come out of it, and so I thought, well, what's a good way to work from home, right? Because I was doing a lot of live sound and live stuff. I said, "Is there ever going to be theater again?" So I went and I said, I don't care for video games particularly, and I've never spent any time in front of one, but it was an option. And I thought, well, this could be a good way to work from home. It turns out I don't like video games, and so I never pursued that as a career.
Because then you would be retired now. You would have made a ton of money last 10 years, and then you'd be like, because I do have an idea for doing twister chess digitally. So you put your left hand on this while you're moving the rook. We'll talk. We'll talk. It needs music. It needs something.
I
Maybe
love it.
sound effects. So, so also now, Sheba, as you said, your mom's been working on this piece for a very, very long time, the Jackie Mason musical. And it's been, I guess, through tons of rewrites and permutations. Are there things that were in earlier incarnations of the musical that you miss, or scenes that you wish were still there, but, for time constraints and other reasons they got cut? Or what?
Well, that's a good question. I think, people really need to learn how to trim the fat, right? So it's really hard when you write your own thing, you're so in love with it, you're so in love with yourself, you think like everything is so great. And what she did is like she's open, like, all right, let's cut this line, let's get rid of this song, let's adjust this. So I don't want to tell you what's been cut because it's better now.
Is she director? Who is the director of the piece?
She
Is it her?
directs it. She directs it. And lately, Ian's been stepping in as a little bit of a partial director. She lives in Florida, so like right now, I've been rehearsing the cast. Actually, Michael Servino is in this upcoming production,
Who
and
is
that
the
is
son of, or
Paul Servino.
oh my God! So wow,
Yeah,
so many famous names. This
yeah.
is
Mindy Rickles was in the one in California.
Minnie Rickles.
That's
Daughter
what I do.
of-
I find the children of
And
everybody.
September, you can say September.
September Sarno, whose father owns Caesar's Palace and developed
Created
Caesar's
created
Palace.
Caesar's Palace.
Whoa! So she's connected. No, I don't know what that. A little bit. Speaking of a finger, it's like-
And so we're like children of the damned. So I go out and find these children and I stick them in the play.
So can I ask? This is a musical. So what are some of the songs? What are some of the scenes song scenes in Jackie Mason the musical? The
Well,
Jackie Mason. Yeah.
some of the top three songs are "I Never Met This Yenta," "Ode to the Early Bird Special," "Celebrity Seekers." There's so many. There's 18 original songs. There's a scene called "Oh Flame," which is a seance number. And it's a very funny. The breeze is sweeter in Miami.
It is. It is. Yes. So let me also ask: are you treating this as a showcase in terms? No. Oh, okay.
No, we've showcased it. We're just doing a show to do a show. We had Jackie Mason's birthday party June 9th because our dear friend Scott Perrin, who's a Broadway guy, helped me to develop the Jackie Mason Foundation, which is going to help us fund the documentary, hopefully, because right now we're funding it and we're running out of money. So
how much does it? I do have to ask. Like, it's a full-length feature documentary,
Yes.
which means not only do you have to go around with camera and interview people, but you also have to pay for stock footage. Well, not stock footage, but footage of this and this from CBS and NBC and ABC when it was actually in Red Raven. So it's sort of like, how much does it cost to make?
It costs a lot.
It costs as much as we have as far as the nonprofit's concerned. So if we have $1 million, it costs $1 million.
It costs a lot with flights and everything. So everybody who's listening to this podcast, it's JackieMasonFoundation.org.
Jackie Mason, if you want to donate, if you want a piece, did they get a piece or they just donate? Did they get a...
Oh, you'll see your name.
Yeah, you'll see your name.
But no, seriously, I am curious about what it... Because, you don't have to shoot on 35 millimeter film stock. That's okay. You can do video. You can do whatever. You don't have to schlep to do art at the end of the day and have them color. But at the same time, there's still tremendous expenses and things. So can you at least give a range?
Sure. And I can speak to this more. So I'm the production element of it, LOL Films LLC. So it can be very inexpensive, right? And because we're already traveling and already touring on our schedule with her as a comedian and me as a sound designer, we're already going to LA a lot. We're already going to these places a lot. So some of the budget for that can be subsidized with other travel expenses. But let's say we have one shoot with one person somewhere across the country. That can easily be, it can be as cheap as with cheap flights and cheap stuff. Maybe $1,500. But if you got hair and makeup in it, if you get some food for it, if you do this for it, if you got to rent stuff for it, it can be, you got a top celebrity, it can be $5,000, But we're keeping it low, we're keeping it minimum, and we've got a lot of great celebrities and a lot of people involved. We got Robert Klein involved, we got Rabbi Shmuley involved, we got you involved. We have
you will.
Well, you're here. And we're talking with
what about my rear? No, that's right.
Your rear. Who are we getting? Dick Cavett. We're talking to Dick Cavett in a couple of weeks. We're talking
Howie Mandel.
We're talking to
Jeff Garland, Carol Leifer, Roseanne.
It's a great lineup. It's a great lineup.
So who has had the best story? So not to spoil the film, but who's had the most eye-opening or unexpected Jackie Mason memory so far in your film?
Well, we can't tell you the story, right? We can't tell you the story, but we can say that we're talking to people, and what the point of the picture is to get to know Jackie Mason. Sheba never knew him, so we're talking to the people that knew him best to fill in the gaps that she might have missed not growing up with him, right? And the best stories we're getting, like some really inside stuff, are from his personal assistants and his bodyguards and the people that were surrounding him, right? The people that were friends. Wild stuff. You're gonna love it. You're gonna have to see it.
It's scintillating.
Well, let me ask you, Sheba, I assume maybe you haven't. Have you done therapy? To get over this relationship, non-relationship with this man who is obviously looming so largely in your life because he didn't loom largely in your life. How do you hate him? Do you resent him? What is your overall take on your dad?
That's a good question. Well, the show has been therapeutic for me in the beginning. And I was really taught by my mother and grandmother not to resent him. I don't know why. They really should have taught me to resent him. But
hey, did you have this slides over to another one? Did you have a father figure? And did your ginger?
Yes. So when I was an early teenager, my mother married a cantor. She just loves Jews that much.
Another cantor. She likes cantors for some reason.
Loves cantors. That's her porn. Some people have fetishes with porn. That's what she watches.
Wow. Okay.
Everybody has a payas. So anyway,
I don't know what she does with a yard, but no, I don't know where I'm going with that.
Some people watch gangbang. She watches Minions. But anyway. That's funny. I should write that down.
Two girls, one Kiddush cup. That's it. I said it.
But can I also ask, Ginger, did you ever go to see your dad when he was performing on or off Broadway in any of
Yes.
his?
So when I was 8, they felt my mother and grandmother. I was very much raised by my grandmother. She was like a father to me. She even had the beard. I say that a lot. But anyway,
Jewish Italian
so-
way. Okay, yeah.
So they felt that it was important for me to like know where I came from because I'm royalty in a way, right? So when I was 8,
Comedy royalty, yes.
you know, he came to town. He was at the Broward Performing Arts Center, which seats thousands of people. And my grandma took me to the show. And it was just very important for me to see, what I come from and appreciate it and revere it instead of besmirching it.
Were you able to laugh? Was he funny to you? Or were you
I'm
too...
8.
Huh? You
I was
ate,
eight,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, the
just remember-
Starbucks thing, that's still funny no matter how old you are. Well, you put milk in the Starbucks, this and that. Yeah. I'm not trying to take
I
your job.
remember
Ian.
being. I remember feeling like, whoa, like I was like so impressed. I couldn't believe that I came from this because I was living in like a shitty little apartment. So it was really.
And still are. No.
Well, yeah, but so I was.
How is your mom
I was
doing,
in
by
awe.
the way? How is Ginger doing? There all
Well,
these years.
she was
well,
very, very, very brokenhearted when they broke up. She was madly in love with him, madly in love with him. But luckily, she did meet my stepfather, who's a doll. They've been married 25 years. He's an absolute sweetheart. He's the cantor at Temple Bethel, and they have lunch and they're good.
So yeah, I mean, she's how old is she? You're 40. We know this.
I'm
You're
like,
40.
Ian, if you don't do that on another podcast.
Yeah, don't do this on a podcast that somebody actually watches. You can do it here because we have like 10 people in a prison somewhere.
You can tell my bra size here, whatever you want. But anyway,
People are going to look at her. Oh, she's hot. She's got the boobs. Oh wait, she's 40. The hell with it. No, it's not true. Not true at all.
Yes, that is true. But anyway, unlike him, I don't reveal my mother's age. So
No, it's
she
totally.
looks good for her age. She uses.
And by
a
the
lot
way,
of
are
moisturizer.
you are a lovely and funny person? Are you connected to any human being? Are you still out in the dating pool so you can make more jokes about it on stage?
Well, I am unattached, totally unattached.
All right. Men, women, men only. I'm assuming, or no, maybe not. Maybe anybody.
Is this a matchmaking service?
You never know. You
Invite me
never-
on this show to do a classy podcast for classy people. What kind of questions are these to ask for a classy
You,
person?
you're the one telling finger story. Well, it's appropriate and stuff. But
Rabbi, I wish that I could like women. My life would be a lot easier, I think. It just would be a lot easier. I really wish. I can't even stand being in a women's locker room more than a minute and a half.
oh, I'll trade places with you. I would be more than happy to trade back standing in a women's locker room anytime, any day. Just now, Ian. Let me ask you also a little bit more. I have to ask. You were once. This is away from sound design and back to the acting thing. You were in a musical about Gilgamesh, King of Uruk. How was that?
Well, it was amazing. I'll tell you why, because I wrote it. So the point is that no, I was asked to be the composer and designer for a piece by Peter Petkovsek. He's a fabulous director writer out of Slovenia, but he was doing a program with Columbia, and they funded it. And he said, I want to do a piece about Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Anyway, he got in touch with me through a couple of people, and actually somehow through Sheba's play too. But regardless, it was amazing. We wrote it, so it was a rock and roll kind of style, heavy but not so heavy, and I modeled it. I modeled the whole piece after the High Holidays. Then I'd been doing a lot of work with temples and the High Holidays, and the beauty and the purity of how that musically over about 2.5 hours unfolds and folds and tells a story and brings your emotions up and down. I said I want that to be my baseline of how this piece moves, and of course it's a little more rock and roll than that, but functionally that's the idea behind it, and we had a lot of fun with it. It hasn't gone anywhere since, but if anyone's interested, they can find some music on it on SoundCloud, the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Because not a lot of things rhyme with Gilgamesh. And it's like, I'm Gilgamesh here in the flesh. It's just, where do you go beyond that?
You go to the rest of the dictionary. But it was a lot of
Ladies and gentlemen, in the flesh with us have been the delightful IAN WEHRLE. He's an actor. He is starring as Jackie Mason in the Jackie Mason musical. It is at the Actors Temple Theater this weekend. There's a show Saturday night, and then 2 shows on Sunday at 3 and 7 in the afternoon and evening. You can get your tickets.
Sorry, Rabbi. It's 2 Saturday and 1 Sunday.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. So it's Saturday at 3 and 7:30 or something? When is it?
Yes, Saturday at 3 and 7:30, or 2 and 7. It's 2 Saturday and 1 Sunday. And they could go to thejackymasonmusical.com for tickets. And also go to JackieMasonFoundation.org if they want to help out with the documentary.
And find us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all these things.
Yeah.
So let me ask both of you as a last kind of question here for you. It was just so delightful to talk to both SHEBA Mason and IAN WEHRLE. What do you really want people, because we know what you're getting out of it, SHEBA, and IAN, you're getting to do the Jackie thing and have fun, be on stage and a paycheck. So what do you want audiences to get from this show?
Well, I want them to have a good. I mean, look. At the end of the day, whether he's a celebrity or not, it's a love story, right? It's a love story. It tells a person's story. All right,
yes. A lot of shows, even Gilgamesh did that.
Why don't you answer this question? It's a fun musical, but at the end of the day, this person overcame a broken heart and was able to write a play about it and go to the early bird special.
That's the most important thing for me. 3:30 in the afternoon, my tummy's rumbling. I start needing that buffet. I'm telling. Now, IAN, do you want to chime in on that or anything about buffets or anything there or what?
My entry into that is that we're keeping a piece of history alive, right? There's not a Jackie Mason musical otherwise. There's not a movie about Jackie Mason. There's not a Jackie Mason biopic. There's not anything to keep his piece of. And when you talk to comedians, they'll tell you, well, he's on my top 10. He's on my top 5. He's one of the greatest comedians. He was Judaism. He was Jews on TV. He was Jewish funny for the first time that my family ever seen it. Roseanne, for example, said an amazing thing. She was growing up. Her father would turn on Ed Sullivan, whatever it was, and point to her and say, and her father wasn't a comedian. Roseanne's father, would turn to Roseanne and say, point to Jackie Mason on TV and say, that's a Jewish comedian. That guy's funny. Look at him. And so she grew, the amount of comedy from generations forward that he inspired is innumerable. So we want to make sure that his legacy, his history, his importance, and his story doesn't get lost, and that's kind of why we're doing all this.
And actually, I was going to make that the last question, but I do want to flip this forward a little bit because I asked before about being Jewish in this climate and telling Jewish jokes in this climate. He was, long before all the anti-Semitism thing, he was getting canceled within the Jewish community for being too Jewish in his way. Is you still facing some of that, of people wishing that he didn't have the accent, that he didn't?
No, it's funny, now that he's dead, people love him more, It's like, posthumously, it's like, well, they love it, his accent, they love everything about him, they love what he stood for more. It's funny how that happens when you're dead.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. So many people despise me that I'm hoping they come to my grave and go, oh, he was good. He was a good cantor. Not a good cantor, but, okay
I don't know if they'll schlep to your grave, but they might say something nice about you on a podcast.
You know what? More important. And I'm saying wonderful things about these two people on our podcast here in the neighborhood. SHEBA Mason, IAN WEHRLE. See him and her in the Jackie Mason musical at the Actors Temple. I wish you many, I'm going to say broken legs for the successful thing, and many more projects and much more fun and laughs and delight for both of you. Shalom, guys.
Shalom.